What's going on? We here with a new episode of the New Hood Podcast. We here with the guys, of course. It's myself, D. Braxton. We got the one and only Venom, aka
What's
Josh Nixon.
happening?
And we got my boy Shawn. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening? What's
Undone.
happening?
What's happening?
Yeah, man.
How
Y'all
y'all
got
Nothing,
been? How
anything
y'all
y'all
been?
want to chilling,
man.
man? Chilling.
Chilling, bored, bro.
Yeah,
That
I
whole
got a
family
little break.
gone.
Got a little
But
break before I start class next week. But yeah,
I don't
hey,
want to talk about school.
man.
hey, whole family gone. They up in New York living their best life. So,
Hey, got
Okay.
to love it. Got to love it. Is the
Yeah.
weather still kind of crazy out there?
I don't think it's like active, but it's
Hmm.
still like snow on the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah. What part of New York?
Rochester,
Okay.
Oh, okay. So like northern.
yeah,
Yeah.
upstate, like as
Yeah.
they call it.
Yeah, that's the call upstate New York. Yeah. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
That's good.
Y'all
I
got
know
anything
Braxton
y'all
about
want to
to.
plug?
Yeah. Uh, I don't. I guess I'll just say my cousin Warren house is Wicked Muscles. Same thing. Like I said, go cop something, or if you're looking for a personal trainer or stuff, he big. Almost got his pro card last year. Definitely should get it this year. So I plug, bro. Yeah.
I got a couple I wanted to plug. I definitely want to
Okay.
plug my sister Deja Hurt. She's a licensed psychologist. She just finished her degree.
Hey,
So
congratulations to
make sure
her.
that you link up with her for all your needs and stuff like that. If that's something that you're looking for, as well as my other sister, Maya. Definitely want to plug her. She's doing the whole graphic design thing. She's getting us set up with something real nice. That's gonna be coming soon,
Thanks.
y'all. We're gonna be doing a little rebrand, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But I'll make sure that we
Definitely.
get that information and plug that in as well.
Most definitely.
No doubt. That's a bad thing. And then of course I'm rocking the usual. Shoes got my heart. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's the normal. So yeah. So let's get into the first topic. I know Josh, you had a topic you wanted to kind of put on the floor.
Yes. It just made me think. Like, when was it? At what age did you guys realize that maybe your priorities wasn't in the order that they needed to be? Whether that was you bumped your head, or was just things not going your way, and you was like, "Hey, maybe I kind of need to reevaluate." That was what I got going on.
Mm.
And whoever want to start first, you know.
Um,
Look,
Truthfully,
shall I go first?
I'll probably say within like the last like year or two.
Okay.
Um, I just realized that some of the stuff I be getting, like, I be feeling like I gotta have this, I gotta have that. Or I used to feel like I gotta have that. And then I get it, and it'd be like, it just be that temporary satisfaction. And it'd be like, okay, I didn't really need this. I could have put this money towards, paying down a credit card or paying down, some kind of bill or whatever the case may have been. So I'd say within this last like year or two that I've really been trying to like create myself and establish and like really get stuff in a order for real. Especially because with man, I'm starting to realize, bro, you just with life, anything bound to happen, bro.
Nah, facts.
Anything bound to happen at any given time, and it's like if you ain't got no reserve or you ain't got no means to like make something happen, you just
Yeah.
out of there. Especially
Yeah.
if you ain't got no I wouldn't say supporters, but you don't have no support system. Let me put it that way. If you don't
Hmm.
have no support system that you're able to lean on in those moments and stuff like that, I was blessed to have a support system behind me for those hard times where I had to hit my head. But if you ain't got that, man, hey,
Nah, that's facts. What about you, DJ?
I think I was probably like I was probably like 20, probably about 25, 26, something like that. And it wasn't like no traumatic thing that happened or whatever. It just like I was making a good. I was making okay money. But I wasn't really doing nothing with it but buying stupid shit. Uh, and it wasn't even well, probably maybe even earlier. No, it was about 25, 26, yeah, something like that. Because I was still in Germany at the time, and so like I said, I was making a good amount of money, but I just wasn't putting nothing away like that. And you don't always gotta put stuff away, but like it should be doing your money should be doing something for you other than like putting clothes on your back and food in your mouth and shoes on your feet. So uh I think it was then and then like I feel like priorities change so much in life. So you just yeah, I feel like if you doing it right, you often realize like, okay, my priorities ain't in order. So I need to start doing this. I need to make new goals and like just because you did good this year don't necessarily mean you don't need to make some pivots here and there. So I feel like after I turned about 26, 27, I just continued to like reevaluate it every time. Cause shit, even last year and the year prior, I was I at the end of the year I was like, dang man, I spent way too much money on stuff that didn't matter, you know what I'm saying, or stuff that didn't necessarily help me. So yeah, I feel like yeah, once I turned 26, 27, is when I really started to like make more realistic purchases and like having goals on like financial goals, all that stuff. And then of course, that next year I had my son, so I definitely was like, kids are gonna be expensive. So yeah, about
Yeah.
26, 7 ish. Yeah. About you?
I'll say like kinda I think within like the past 3 years, it kinda just made me like just wanted to just look at things because it was an effect that like you said, I mean, I was making like I'm making pretty good decent money, but I wasn't truly seeing the effects. I felt like I was still
Mm-hmm.
living paycheck to paycheck, and it's honestly was me to blame. Cause it was decisions like I think I made prior of just like living in the moment type thing. Just being like, oh, not understanding true interest rates and kind of seeing like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'll just get a loan, I'll pay it off, but not knowing like if I'm steady making a minimal payment, like I'm never gonna get out that cycle, right? Because I didn't know that. And so steady just like, or anytime I start making more money, then I was like, oh, there's just more money I can spend. I can get another loan and do things like that. And now that like you said, I'm trying to make my money work for myself and make sure that I can put my kids in a position to be set up better than
Mm-hmm.
what I was set up. And it's not because my parents didn't try, it's just because they came from a cycle where it's like you just work 7 days a week. You don't got to put your money in the checking the savings. But you
Mm-hmm.
just buy what you want. But now trying to, although like yeah, here's your YOLO, but when you wake up in the morning and you still gonna have them bills, you kind of want to make sure you
Yeah.
got something. You
And
kind of
you
got to
gotta
make sure.
kind of. I remember I had a somebody said this. That was like, you gotta live every day like it's your last, but you gotta pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it ain't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you
No,
definitely gotta
facts.
make like, yeah, you do only have one life to live, but that don't mean your life end tomorrow. So you gotta
Make
always
sure
be
that's
making yeah, preparing for the future. And it's crazy that ideology, as funny as it is, it's kind of how like when I heard it, I was like, damn, that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? So
Bro,
yeah. And
I'm
it's
telling you.
crazy. I gotta take a step back from what I said. Like it was definitely that time frame when I did learn. But
Hmm.
the reason why, and this is like a full transparency moment. So when I was in Germany, when I was stationed in Germany, I was getting a good amount of money. Like I was getting I was a flyer, so I was getting flight pay, I was getting hazardous duty pay. This is all military lingo for anybody who don't know. But I was getting like hazardous duty pay, flight pay. I was getting a lot of my money was tax free because I was going into like was declared as war zones and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So like all my money was being tax free, right? And then I had gotten a signing bonus too. So I was like, damn, it was just a good ass year. And then it was around this time too. I was like, damn, the last year been fire. And then I ended up we filed our taxes and I had gotten that bonus and like I said, I got that tax free money and stuff. And then I was sitting around, I'm like, damn, I didn't got a lot of money just in this month of February because I just filed my
Hmm.
taxes. I'm like, man, I'm about to get a lot of money. And then I just kept looking around, my taxes never came right. And then I got a letter in the mail from well, really it had went to my mom crib because I was stationed in Germany. She like, it's a letter in the mail, I'm gonna send it to you. It got your name on it. I'm like, bet. So I got the letter, and basically the government, basically I had student loans that I had been deferring for so long. But when when I moved to Germany, my phone number changed. I wasn't really checking my email like that. So they was my deferment had ended like right when I got to Germany. So they was hitting me up trying to get like information like, are you gonna
Yeah, yeah.
continue your forbearance, or are you going to start paying? So I went like a year and a half of not responding to their messages and all that stuff. So it went into default, and then the collections and all that stuff. And then of course they got the okay to like basically garnish my wages they can't garnish your military pay,
Sorry, but
but
they
they
can do that.
can take your income tax. And I wasn't, and it wasn't on purpose, you know what I'm saying? I didn't purposely not pay my school loans or whatever. But yeah, that little I only owed like 8,000, but I was just being petty, like, you know, basically putting off my school loan, but not paying attention. They took that whole little $4,000 that I was getting back. Because this was me and my wife first time filing taxes as joint too. They
Dang.
took the whole joint, so it was like $3,000-$4,000 that they took or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I owed like $8,000 on my loan or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? And I read the letter. I'm like, oh. And they were saying like, yeah, well, you can get your wife's back because that technically she didn't owe that money. But I was like, well, shit, I owe this money anyway. So I just got on a little payment plan and got that shit out of default or whatever.
Yeah,
And that's when I realized, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You making this good money? You could have been paid off that little $8,000 that you owed on school loans, but like you just not, because you being petty, and you buying all this expensive shit for no reason. So that at that point is when I was like, you doing stupid shit. So then I
yeah.
went and talked to a financial advisor, went and just started making sure I was saving money, investing money, and doing all that stuff. And that's when like the light flipped. So it was that time frame, but that was the reason why I forgot about
No,
that. So yeah,
it's a good reason.
but yeah,
And I was about to say
yeah.
mine is, like I said, kind of like the similar. Like I said, the loans and stuff, and then you'll get a consolidation loan, get everything paid down, and then I make two purchases and get right back in the same hole. And
Hmm.
now, like, I just, to me, what I told is gonna be my final consolidation loan, and it's a monthly payment that I don't want to pay, but it's also the consequences that you kind of got to live with.
Hmm.
Where it's like, in order to get right, like this is it, but it's one of those learning lessons. You got to hit your head and be like, I bet. It's easy to
Hmm.
say you want to get financially ready, but when you actually trying to do it, or I can keep making these minimum payments, doing something, get nowhere, or you can buckle down and be like, all right, hold me up 6 months, then refinance that loan, get a better payment than we could, but then just start being financially smart. And it's more me
Yeah, it's
than
financial
anyone.
literacy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm about to say it's like doing those things, like when people like, cause like even the group like we had, like I was lost in there. It's with DJ, and then when Sergeant
You
Davis
over
was
there
sending
blaming
like,
me?
no,
Oh, you
no,
talking about
with with just
oh, we was talking about investing and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
investing. I
This is
was
like later on
completely
down the line.
lost.
Okay.
I'm
Mm.
completely lost. Every time they said something, like I was just like, okay, I'll put some money in this stock. I didn't know what stocks they were or anything. They talking about books they read. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I've not read and my whole time I was like, I'm not reading a book. That's the first time. Soon I seen it, and it's just ignorance, because I would read anything. If you said something about anything, like I would read it. It's just like, nah, it's cool. Like you think like there's a video for
Hmm.
everything, or there's something, when it's literally like people are literally giving you the answers to help you, but you trying to find an easier way instead of
Yeah.
just doing it. And that's what I'm a victim to it, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video
Sometimes
that'll
that shit's
tell me.
scary though. Like it's sometimes it's scary when people give you information if you don't fully know how to use it, because then it's like,
It can be
damn,
overwhelming.
yeah, it's overwhelming, and it's like it's intimidating, because it's like, now you didn't gave me this information and I don't necessarily know how to apply it. If you don't know how to
Yeah.
apply it, then like, shit, that information really ain't all that useful to you. But
Or
at
even
the
where to
same
start.
time,
That'd be the biggest thing. Like it'd be like, where's the starting point? Like
where
it's so much
Bro.
exactly.
information that I'm taking in.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, well, where is the beginning? Like where can I like?
Hmm.
And I
That's
am one
why
of
it
those
is.
people like that. I would, can I get a step one? Like, how'd you start? Like when I talk to people, like I need, like it's cool, but I know me. Like I'm not the
Hmm.
type to be like, oh, I have all these options. I'm gonna pick the best one. Nah, I need somebody to kind of guide me, and then I can go from there. But
Yeah.
I'm not that person. So you give me 8 options, I'm in the corner crying. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It was for me, I'm just gonna bug you to death until you explain. Like
Yeah,
options is cool, but I need to understand. I'm a why person, so like you gotta explain the why for it to make sense to me, which is exactly why it would. And I think a lot of people are more why people than they would like to say, but like that's why like sometimes certain information is intimidating because you don't understand the why of it. So it's like it don't compute. It's the same thing with me like being in the medical field for the longest. It was a lot of stuff that just didn't connect because I
no
didn't
facts.
understand the why of it. But then once I understood the why, I was like, oh, well, it's because of this. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the same thing when it came to finances. For the longest, I didn't really understand the why of a lot of stuff. So just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, yeah, invest in the stock market. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invest in stocks. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, but what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I used to say that all the time. Like, yeah, I'm gonna invest in stocks. I didn't understand. I didn't know the first thing to even do
Yeah,
that.
no,
You know what I'm saying? I was like, who do I call? You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What's the lady's name? I called the
Mhm.
lady and she said,
Right, but
yeah,
that's the thing, like we gotta do better as like a community of not just saying what people should do, but also like thoroughly explaining that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody be saying that, yeah, you need to get to financial literacy, financial freedom. You need to be debt free. But like, okay, but how do you get
how do you
there? You
get
know what
there?
I'm saying?
And I was about
Yeah.
to say, I think what even draws people more is like you were saying, just that transparency. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you show us, like, because most people like that's why I tell people don't get caught up in social media. Like you see these people talking about being financially, like they don't never show you the side of them struggling. So it's
Mm-hmm.
intimidating because you just seeing like, oh, this person like they always been good. Like
Mm-hmm.
they ain't have a credit score that was in 530, so they couldn't obviously understand like how it takes to get. And that's what I'm saying. Like working on your credit score, like people say, I heard somebody saying it made so much sense to me. It's like your credit score is like your financial heartbeat. You know, we all know without a heartbeat, you dead. So I mean,
Yeah.
it takes time and just know like I've had a high credit score, I've had a low credit score. So I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, having a high one is definitely better than having a low one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just having just like knowing like if something was to come, like I
I'm
could go
straight.
get things I
Yeah.
could. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to, like I said, need it and then learn that, oh, because of these decisions I made of not paying this or not doing this, like damn, I can't. And now your options are extremely limited because then now that interest rate that you didn't want to have of a 4%, now you got to pay a 27% in hopes that you can finance it later down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I tell people like definitely like Brax said, reach out, and if you don't understand, like ask those questions why. Like it's gonna take some level of transparency. I mean, put that pride aside if you truly want to,
Yep.
and just I mean, ask for help. Like especially like ask people that know more than you. It's okay to admit that you don't know. Like especially when it comes to finance, like, I'll tell you like don't ask me. I can tell you where I can tell you where I've done rogue turns, but if you like, hey, how'd you get out that situation? Hey, I'll let you know what's
Yeah.
about. I'll let you
But
know.
it's social media though. Social media makes it 1,000 times worse though because everybody feel like because of how people market certain stuff,
Mhm.
everybody market their success or market, you know what I'm saying, their potential success on some like, oh y'all ain't know about this. This is where I'm, you know what I'm saying? So like it make it intimidating to even have those conversations. So like I think that's a big thing that we gotta get out of is like I tell people all the time, bro, I bumped my head 1,000 times over before I wouldn't even say I haven't figured out, but like before I had some type of, you know what I'm
Understanding.
saying? Yeah, understanding of it is like, bro, I bumped my head 1,000 times over before I could even fully have a conversation with you. And on top of that, I think a lot of the reason why it was, even though I bumped my head, like it never like hurt me too bad because I
Yeah.
never went into it making it as though like I knew more than the next person, or that like me asking you where what is this, what is this, you know what I'm saying? I don't I didn't The pride was out the window at that. I have no problem saying that, like, yeah, I don't understand that, you gotta explain it to me. And I'm also not blindly jumping into stuff. If it don't make sense, then I'm just not jumping into it. You got to
Yeah.
make it make sense. A prime example: NFTs. Now, I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
saying
Yeah.
NFTs are the worst thing, or like they might have a few they have might have a future. But when NFTs were hot and they was going for crazy prices, I was one of the few people that I was saying, I was like, I just don't fully understand this. And although people eventually explained it to me, I was like, I don't necessarily think that this is the best route because there's nothing like tangible, nothing
Tangible.
in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I was like, there's nothing that I can touch in this space outside of like, oh, you have this image or this digital real estate and all that stuff. I was like, but that's not something that people can touch. I like, so that becomes, I like, that's an issue for me. And I had a homeboy that was trying his hardest to like explain why you should, but he did. I could tell by his explaining, he was basically regurgitating some shit he heard somebody else say, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but that don't. I was like, yeah, I just can't get into that. I'm good. And then lo and behold, the NFT market fucking sank. I mean, it's
Bruh.
people who spent 40 and 30,000 or more on certain NFTs that are worth $100 now. And really, they ain't. I wouldn't even say they worth that. It's just that's what people are saying that they're worth now. I'm sure unless something completely changes, them shits will be worth pennies. You know what I'm saying?
Because
People.
all
Go
it
ahead.
is what, like a picture, right? Like
Yeah. It could
I
be
never
anything.
understood it, but like from what I've seen, the ones that I've seen, it was like it was a picture. Like, oh, you have this
Mhm.
like the rights to this picture or something,
And that's
and
all
I
it is.
just
It's the rights to something. Now, it's not, you don't have it like physically in most cases. It's more of like you're the only person that has the rights to this specific thing. So it's essentially like, because there was the whole digital age, everybody was like prematurely promoting that everything was going digital. So like everything is digital. Like, so when we talk about the metaverse, everybody was getting into this idea that you're going to have homes in the metaverse and people are going to be there all the time and all that stuff. So people inflated the worth of it. And that's what how I saw it from the beginning. I'm like, so you inflating the worth of it currently
Mhm.
because it's a hot thing. Like, that don't mean that I'm about to pay you 40,000 for that. That don't make sense to me.
yeah.
Like, I was like, because then somebody could just say, man, that ain't the wave no more. And now I've lost physically 40,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I always saw it. And my homeboy was trying his hardest to like. I was like, you didn't drink the Kool Aid. That's how I
Yeah.
looked at it. Like, you drank the Kool Aid, you believed in it, and but realistically, you don't have a real reason why you would want to invest in it. And lo and behold, like I said, that shit tanked. And so,
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of things like we have to like. I'm not against NFTs or blockchain or cryptocurrency. I have certain amounts of crypto and all that stuff, but like I would never like, it was people that was willing to like fully dive into it. Like, give me my money in crypto. It's like, nah, bro. Give me my money in actual financial dollars, and the dollar ain't even all that great, but like at least I there's a proven track record of this dollar. There's no proven track record of this crypto, of this digital currency or this digital real estate or this digital picture. Like, it just wasn't going. But like, that's the thing, we're so quick to like jump into these things because
Hmm.
people make it a wave that we overinflate its worth for a certain period of time, and then the people who understand it to a T, they're the ones who benefit off of it because they selling,
Facts.
selling, 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 and then boom, you know what I'm saying? You holding something that's worth shit now. You know what I'm saying?
No
It's a forty
facts.
thousand dollar piece of shit, is what it is now. So yeah, but I mean that it all come back down to like people need to be like honest, and like people need to be honest when it comes to these things. People need to like fully like learn it, and then if you're a person that's going to champion something like this, you need to be willing to like really teach people the ins and outs, the goods and the bads of it. So
Facts.
but
I
yeah.
about to say interest rates. That's what got me. My last day. Don't just trade in your cars. I can't say
Yeah,
it enough.
Yeah,
Because
cars, cards.
Brax
Look,
had me trading in my car every 2 years. Nah, that was me trying to
that
keep
man
up
is
with
a
the
lie.
Joneses.
That man is a lie. I
Because
had the
I'm about to
same
say
car for 12.
that is true. Because just trading in your car, like I didn't know, like interest rates are a real thing. Like soon you drive it off the lot, you can drive it right back, and you wouldn't even get the same value that you got a
Hmm.
second before you drove it off. So that's a big thing for me that I traded in so many cars and just rolled over that debt because the salesman, they go do their job. They're like, oh, you only owe this much? Oh, we'll just roll that in. And you'd be like, oh, that's it? I'll bet. That's cool. I gotta pay for it anyways, right? But not knowing
Hmm.
that now if I go try to trade that car in that was only 16,000, but I got a $30,000 loan on it, they like, hey, I ain't gonna be able to get you in that one, but I can get you in some. So just knowing that, man. So I'm about to say, man, just do your own research. So I always say trust but verify. A salesman, their job is to sell. I mean, so just know they may not always have the best interest. And if it's not a good deal, it's okay. And it's okay to have a car to just take you to point A to point B and be content. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Because
Definitely
years
don't
later,
do that.
it's gonna catch up. It may not catch
Definitely
up
don't do
a
that.
year later, too. It's gonna catch up when you really want something, or you finally think you got it figured out. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna maneuver this way, and then they pull up there, go like, hold on, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do that.
He
That house
said,
you want to build,
"Whoa there."
yeah, we gonna need some money put down for that now. So we
We're
go.
gonna
So
need
I
you to
mean,
put
just
down $20,000 that you don't
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
So,
So that's my biggest thing. That's my last thing on it, though, man.
yeah,
But Brax, I know you had some a topic you want to bring up. You said, brother.
yeah. I do got one. Let me get to it real quick because it kind of flow a little bit in what we talking about, like knowing your priorities and all that
Hmm.
stuff. But I guess it's kind of. But I was like, so when you look at your life, right, and at how things is played out for you. You see people that doing better, some people that's not doing as good or whatever. And like sometimes you also you grew up the same way as a lot of these people.
Hmm.
Um, do you think what are your ideas and when we talk about luck and like how our lives played out? Do you think that some people are just born to win? They just have that in them, and then if so, does that mean that you think some people are just not like born to win, or I guess you would say they born to lose their life? What's your thoughts on that? Do we create our destinies, or like is this something that's just in us that like we destined for certain things?
I think honestly, we
Yeah, that's a
create our
toughie.
destinies. Just because it'll be hard because I've seen people like you says that come from the same that have won, and I've seen people that came from the same that have lost. If I had only seen one, then I would say, yeah, some people are just destined to win. But I think it just comes on a lot of the people you have around you and your upbringing. Because I've seen both, where some people emphasize and kind of give them the knowledge and don't gatekeep and like help them understand things that necessarily that probably weren't available to us later for us. Like I can't say like interest rates or far as like investing or like, hey, this career field, like you should probably go into this career field. I've seen some people like, hey, don't go to college, only do trades, like do your trade school. And they were able to get out, make money, and then make financially decisions that were just better. That helped them win. So
Hmm.
I think it's kind of like we create our destiny. I think we play a big role in it. And then obviously the people you have around you. So yeah, that's what I would say. Uh yeah, yeah, that's what I got on it.
What you think, Sean?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, I definitely think that to a degree we create our own destiny, and I say that in the sense of like we definitely have the means to like put ourselves in positions to win. But if we win and we don't have the education behind it, then we lose, right? Like, if we don't
Hmm.
have the education to do what we're supposed to with the resources that we have, then we lose in that sense. A prime example, in full transparency, like DJ said earlier, I had got, well, me and my wife had got a significant amount of money back from a car accident that we was in, and I can't tell you where that money was at. You see these people that win the lottery, you see these people that get, big lump sums of money back and stuff like that, and they all end up back, in the same position that they had like originally started at. And that's
Hmm.
because we didn't have the resources or the education, or we didn't take advantage of the resources that we had, um, to win. Because you can have a little and make a lot. If you
Yeah,
use it right, if you know how to use it. When
Hmm.
when we was kids, and grandma or mama ain't had that much food in the kitchen, she only had a
pressure,
little bit. She made it work. You know what I'm
pressure.
saying? So it's about like how you utilize it, or that the education that you can use to make it work. Um,
Yeah.
but you have to be willing to like take the time, or get with somebody that can point you in the direction that you trust and stuff to get to that point.
Yeah,
But I
it
mean,
definitely takes
I
effort.
definitely create our own destiny. Just because you're born in poverty don't mean that you got to die that way.
Yeah.
Hey, it fast. What about you, DJ?
Yeah. I think I kind of got a little bit more middle ground, but for the most part, like, yeah, I think we keep we are our, the makers of our own destinies or whatever. But I think some people are lucky enough to be born into certain things, but I think that's only part of the story, because there are plenty of people born into certain things and just nothing comes of it because they don't know what to do with it. They don't care to do anything with it. They don't have that dog in them to go get it. So uh at the end of the day, like, your day, you get to, every day you get to wake up and like make a move towards like bettering your situation. So shut off. Then sometimes I get offended when a motherfucker like make it seem like, hey, you lucky, or, oh,
Mm,
if oh, you did this because somebody gave something to you. I'll be like, bro, you don't know half of what it take to be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be trying to let a motherfucker know quick, like, bro, I win because I got something in me that don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It ain't nothing about it, ain't and it wasn't something that somebody gave me. It was something that I'm like, I just don't want to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't enough. It's too much time in the day for me to allow myself to lose. Now, are there certain people who just they started off with 10, 15 steps ahead of me? Yeah, and sometimes that's enough for them to keep them ahead of you in certain instances. I don't necessarily care for about all that, but like, anytime a person try to make seem like I ain't go get everything that I got, that's when I feel offended, and that's why I never say like, oh, somebody is just, they just lucky. Like, lucky is one thing, but what I'm saying, a born winner, born to go get it. What I'm saying, maybe they got to assist here and there. I think we all get assists in life. What I'm saying,
yeah.
but like, yeah, like I said, I truly get offended when a person be like, oh, you lucky. I mean, in certain instances, yeah, there is some luck, but like, nah, for the most part, like, bro, the shit that I didn't have to deal with over 30, almost 34 years, like, boy, you would never be able to just say I got lucky. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, that's something that I had to put a lot of work in on myself and on my situation to be where I'm at. So yeah, I'm not a huge proponent of like a person's life is all predicated on the luck that they was given. So yeah.
No,
Nah, nah, nah.
no, could have said it better. I like everybody's answer.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely feel that.
Sean,
Oh,
did
and
you
just
have
to
one?
follow up, I definitely, when I say I messed that money up or messed that money up, I
Hmm.
didn't go to like Saks and blow it all in Saks, getting Gucci and everything. I definitely paid off all my debt and stuff like that. But it just, I feel like I could have did more had I took the time
Hmm.
to like learn,
Hmm.
um, whether it be stocks or investing in properties at that time and stuff like that. Could have been in a different situation. So
Yeah.
you live and
Yeah.
you learn.
No, no,
Yeah.
facts.
Most definitely.
That's the biggest thing
Yeah.
is not to actually learn from the lesson because a lot of people what gets them in a situation like instead of saying like, "Hey, I should have done this," they blame everything.
Everybody,
But
yeah.
yeah, then so when they're awarded that same opportunity again, they don't see it as that and they don't make a change, and that's the biggest thing where I think a lot of people, especially our people, make mistakes instead of like learning from it or doing remotely anything different. We stay in the same cycle and just do the same thing of just definitely
Yeah.
chaos.
Okay. Shawn, you had a topic you wanted to throw out there?
I did have a topic. I kind of wanted to pick y'all brain, see how y'all felt about it. It's a little bit more light. Well, I wouldn't call it lighthearted. I just wanted to get y'all's perspective on these like young kids being rappers and social media influencers and like stuff like that. And yeah, what's y'all take on it? Like what y'all think on that?
Mm,
So for me, with the rapper aspect, I'm okay. Like if kids are rapping about kid things, I have a problem when kids are rapping about um adult things that they shouldn't be rapping about, and then fast forward, we act surprised when one they turn out to be living what they living, or they die, and it's like, oh no, they were such a good kid. And it's like, I mean, the influence, because I also believe
right.
like that type
He
of
ain't even
energy,
do
like you,
nothing.
yeah, that type of energy, like you kind of bring it on yourself in a sense. But as far as like just kids in general with the social media, I think it had been like a topic, like we talked about, like the 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 proof is in the pudding when it comes to like just kids in like Hollywood. Like we can count on like a select hand of how many kids that didn't have residual effects or say like it didn't like kind of mess them up. I definitely think that comes around like their parents and then like I said, the upbringing, the pushing. But even on a different subject of like me and my brother was talking earlier about like just now, like you can see a difference like with just kids to me in sports, about the hunger they have. Because with the NIL deal, I'm all about kids making their money. But now you have like kids that's like 15-year-old, like baseball stars, like social media is popping, like they millionaires. And like you can see like they like, yo, bro, I just gotta show up. Like I don't like I'm already gonna go to the league, everything's already gonna be given, like I'm destined. Instead of where it used to be like it was just a different type of hunger because you didn't know if you was gonna go to the NBA. So the development,
Hmm.
you took advantage of everything. And now it's just different. It's just a different world we live in, man. And like I said, I'm all about kids making the money because, like, especially college league, they was pimping them kids for nothing. But I just wish
Yeah.
that you got the money, but you also kept that same hunger. And so that's just, I think it's a thin line, man. Because like I said, I want kids to be able to be kids, and if it's afforded to where they can take not only themselves but their family, yes. But I think it's just a strange. Like as parents, I feel like they put on their kids when you see like, hey, this kid can be a generational talent and take us out. Like when that kid could realistically probably just want to go outside and play with their friends, but now you working them just
You
like
gotta
us.
shoot these videos, you gotta
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
this meeting and that meeting. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like it's tough, man. And I wish I knew the answer for that balance. But I just wish, especially with the rapper aspect, like I just like rap about kids stuff. Like it's still a market for that. You don't got to be in the club with Drake, Flash, Buddy. I promise you don't. I promise you don't.
Yeah. Nah, I don't. I don't really too much care for the social media age with kids. I mean, same thing. Like if you can make some money, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know how life gonna play out. And hey, get your
Facts.
money. But I have a bigger problem when like parents are overly like throwing cameras in kids' face. Like, you know, I tend to I post a lot on social media like with me and my son, but like I try not to make it too much of a. I don't think I'll ever do like a YouTube page with me because I've had people always say like, "Oh, you and him should do a YouTube page." And I'd be like, nah, because then I feel like we have to like hop in front of a
Yeah.
camera and do things, and it's like we do like this shit is all organic. It just be like, let me capture this stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I ain't, it's not. I'm not doing it for social media, so I don't like that because, like I said, these kids just don't live the same life that we lived, and maybe that ain't always a bad thing, but like bro, we used to be outside. You know what I'm saying?
Outside.
But like these kids go outside only to show that they're going outside to social media, and then they turn around and go right back inside. So like, and then when it comes to like kids rapping, like it's the same thing. Like if they're not rapping about like stuff that's age appropriate, And even if you rapping about stuff that's not age appropriate, like it's just a certain length that these kids is going. Like I hate to say this, but I'm really starting to feel like when I was hearing people say rap music ain't good for our community, I'm really starting to think maybe it's not
I'm
good
about to
for
say,
our
I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to say
I
that.
hate to say it, like as much, and this is somebody I mean, that's all I listen to for the most part, that and R&B. But like, I'm really the more I be listening to it, and the more I watch these kids, I like this might not be for our kids. I was like, this
No, no,
might not be for our culture because there's just this lack of like being able to like let it be what it is. This is
yeah,
rap, this is life. You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew that this was just rap and this ain't life, and like it would be one thing. But these kids hopping on here and they saying this and they doing this. I don't care if you get on there as a kid and you rap about it and you live a normal life. You know that there are a large generation of kids that follow that shit. So that's why I just be like, I just can't get with it. I don't want to hear no I don't want to hear no child. I don't not no well, you know, fuck an adult or a young adult. I don't want to hear no child talking about like shooting guns. Anytime I
no,
see
no,
that, that
facts.
shit, it should make me cringe because it's like, one, why are you lying? Two, like, two, why are you like, why? What would make all y'all grown ass people stand around him and allow him to say this stupid shit? Like, that's the stuff that
No,
bothers me a little bit.
that's
So,
yeah, that's a big part
but
of it.
it's all for a paycheck because people know like, hey, people love kids, and there's a genre, there's a market that's not like fully tapped in because the kid market is never fully tapped into because it's so you only can be a kid for a certain period of time. So
No facts.
people love to like overindulge in it and have kids do anything to try to flip up a dollar, and that shit just disgusting to me. I was like, bro, is it that serious, bro? Are you that like you that thirsty to get on that you willing to sacrifice your kid for it, or you want your kid to be that successful? You gonna sacrifice their childhood for it? Like that's the
Facts.
part of it that just blows my mind. But I mean, to each his own. But that's a no go for me.
Childhood is, I think, is extremely important for development.
Man,
Yeah,
Extremely
man,
important.
because that's I feel like that'll make or break you in adulthood, or nah, it'll make or break you,
No facts.
especially if you don't have the strength to like overcome and like come through, overcome those traumas or whatever it may be.
Because that situation, I
It's
think, like with just communicating, like a big part of it starts in childhood, and then we get the adults that don't know how to communicate because, like I said, they were in front of a camera. If they were acting, they can't distinguish between like, hey, what's real life and a movie set. So, and that's when I think like to feel normalize, that's when drugs play a part because they like, oh, this helps with, it helps me feel mellow and calm. And then, like I said, all drugs are a gateway, bro. It's never gonna be enough. Like, right? Like you start with one, your body's just naturally gonna get immune to one. Then you want something stronger and stronger. And then it's just
yeah.
a never ending cycle.
Even that though, even like the like,
I
oh,
ain't never
I'm doing
smoked.
this because even like when when kids be like, "Hey, I'm," or like people in general be like, "Man, I'm doing this because it make me do this or it make me feel better." Like I hear people say that, I can agree that there's certain things that
Mhm.
do that for you, but like I didn't heard kids say that stuff, and it's clear as day. They're not saying that like speaking from experience.
Yeah.
They saying that because they speaking from that's what people say. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't like kids rapping and all that stuff, or like doing all like rapping about that type. Because it's definitely a lane. Like I said, Bow Wow when he was at his height was talking about girls and talking about being he was trying to be somewhat of a thug a little bit, but like for
Yeah.
the most part, like it was very like harmless that type. Now
But it
the
was,
kid
Now?
rappers
Oh yeah.
now, like
it,
I
They talk
wish I
about
would.
bodies
but
and
I think
Yeah.
that so like my okay, so my take on it is like what is the market for this music? Because the music that they playing, I can guarantee you, my son not gonna be listening to it going on YouTube. It's not on YouTube Kids and nothing like that. So it's like, who is it marketed towards? Okay, now if we talking about you have 30 mid-20s, 30-year-old men listening to this 12-year-old boy talking about killing and getting hit and everything else, you should be ashamed of yourself and you're a weirdo. Like, that's just the way that I feel
Mm-hmm.
about it. Because why are you letting a 12-year-old influence you?
No.
Yeah.
Because he got a big stack of money, then that goes to show you that you'll call anybody unk and bro and try to
But
hang
they
with them.
will.
Like,
Big
I
bro.
told you.
I know
Y'all
they
see,
will,
Big
they
but
bro.
said
that's
they
weird.
said they'll call a baby big bro if he got enough money.
Like,
Hey, nah,
Hey, they
that's
not
facts.
lying though. They will
They is
really
not
call a little
lying.
baby that.
and that's
Right.
weird. And like, I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't condone it. But I did hear an interesting perspective. They asked, I can't remember who it was. They asked, the interviewer asked somebody, and he was like, um, basically, what it boiled down to was like, it's not the child's fault that this is the only way that like he was able to see fit to get his family taken care of, to provide a better life for his family as a
Cop
child.
out. I think that's a cop out.
That's tough to put on the child. Cause
Exactly.
I
Like,
mean, cause that's basically you putting all your expectations. That's like me going to my
if my
9 year old
son is
son
the only
and
way we
being
get
like,
out the
"Hey, yeah."
trenches, if my son is the only way we get out the trenches, bro, I'm failing.
I
Like,
don't
as
know
a
if I couldn't even fix my mouth to go to my 9 year old son and be like, "Hey, you got to make it in baseball.
gotta get us up out
You
of
my
here.
only hope.
You gotta get us
You
up
gonna be
out of
what
here.
breaks."
Because
Because
real,
one, kids like take like one coming from like especially a father, mom, like they gonna take word as bond. Like they
Right.
and
yeah,
then without knowing like your words have that much impact in your kids, like they would shift around and then you would take what's supposed to be fun for them. They look at it as like a job now, like, oh my God. And then they stop having fun with it. And then like I'd never put those type of expectations on my kid.
yeah, man,
Definitely.
that shit dead.
Definitely.
And realistically speaking, like that's not what people on. Like, you're not telling me you're not putting your kid in front of a camera and telling and having them rap about this stuff to get you out the hood. You trying to have them do this stuff to get you to another lifestyle, a completely different life. You trying to get rich off of your kid, because if the goal was to get out the trenches and all that stuff and to like better y'all lives, then you would be putting your kid into you know what I'm saying, a lifestyle or like things that are more like more easily attainable. Like,
Yeah.
you would put your kid into like STEM programs. Yeah, cuz there are plenty of jobs out there, six-figure jobs at that, hiring people to be a fucking chemist and biologist and all that stuff, or you know what I'm saying, archaeologist or architect and all that stuff. It's very few people that make it as rappers, football players, basketball players, professional entertainers at all. So like, if your goal is to get out the hood or get out the trenches and your kid is your way,
That
you would
means
not be putting them to be a rapper or a sports player, because
Especially
the chances of them getting to that is very slim to none. And if that is your goal and you for real doing that, you stupid and you
yeah,
really
because
not trying to get out the trenches.
it's just based on too many people. Like, because you
Yeah,
have to get a deal, and then you have to expect other people to like what you're putting out. So
yeah.
it's too many different valuables for
You could
that.
literally
To
just
even,
be like, "Yeah, we're gonna get you. Look, my kids. I'm gonna make sure I'll do everything I can to make sure you go to school. Even if you irresponsible and just be like, look, you my son, you're gonna take out $500,000 worth of loans because later on down the line you're gonna be a doctor and you'll be able to pay them shits off and you're gonna get us out the hood. Like, okay, that is actually something that could happen. But like,
yeah,
if you saying like, oh, you know
you're gonna
what?
be
I'm
a
gonna make
rapper.
sure you gonna be a rapper. Like, bro,
especially when rappers are dying very fastly. No,
you
I'm
gonna
about to
put
say
him
matter
in
of
the
fact,
most
Fast Five.
dangerous sport of them all?
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess I guess I feel where you're saying like the determination or the determining factor is dependent upon the child, as to where when you go into like an entertainment space, the determination is dependent upon somebody else and what they view and what they feel like
thousands of
this
people, really though, because
millions.
you
I say
also got to realize your kid could be very good at these things. Executives can really like your kid and they still flop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is something that is extremely stupid if you think that that's your way to get your kid. I mean, get your family out the trenches. Like, I'm going to have my kid become now a rapper or a football player or a basketball player. Like, that's what we're gonna put all our eggs. That's the basket we're gonna put our eggs in. That's stupid because, like I said, there are jobs that pay hundreds of thousands of dollars that all you gotta do is put that same effort in to make sure your kid become that, and they actually have a high chance of becoming that. Like, if you've there, I mean, it's actually proven in other cultures. If you go to the West Indian people, like 3/4 of them are forcing their kids to become doctors. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? Like, most of their kids are in doctor. The other fourth are in tech. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Jobs that pay a lot of money. I'm not saying that you should do these things, but I'm saying if your goal is to get out the trenches and you have kids and you want to use your kids for that, you would be stupid to go make them become entertainers,
Entertainers.
because they could go do these things and there's a high chance, as long as if you put enough pressure on them and they apply enough pressure, that you'll get there. And I'm not saying that this is a good idea, because I don't. I think you should be an
Yeah.
adult and take care of your own situation. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I think you should be grown as hell. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should take. I think you shouldn't have kids and roll the dice and think that they're gonna get you out of your situation.
Yeah,
But
and then
if you
that's a
was,
whole nother point because then people start wondering why kids grow up so fast. Kids are not doing this. It's
and
because you
depressed,
treated them like an adult since
yeah,
6 by telling them,
yeah,
hey, it's on them to pay our
you gonna
bills.
save us. You the man of the house. Like, what?
Yeah, big bro. Like, come on.
Right. Baby bro can't even change his own diaper yet. Can't even wipe his own ass. You telling him he's the man of the house. Like, man, stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Nah, facts. No, I
Yeah,
like that
man.
topic. That was a good one, Shawn. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, most definitely.
I say,
But
y'all got anything else?
uh,
No,
I
you
mean,
got
yeah, I
some.
think we can hold the rest to another time, man.
Okay.
But yeah, for sure. I
That
think
was
that was a
definitely a
good
good one.
topic, though. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
for
that was
sure, for sure.
definitely.
Well, the
He
moral of the
said, all right, big
story
bro.
is take care of yourself. Stop letting big bro 5-year-old ass try to carry the family. You a grown, able-bodied adult. Stop having all them kids thinking they're gonna get you out them trenches. You
Yeah,
can do
put
it
that
yourself.
energy you trying to put in him do these music videos and go get you a job. Hey,
Go
Burger
get
King
them
hire.
CDLs. Go get them
Hey,
Facts.
CDLs,
There's so
bro.
many things. And
Go
then if
get
you
them
actually want your
CDLs.
kid to be an
hey,
entertainer,
bro.
set them up. Drama
Hey,
school,
and
like
I
drama
think
class. And there's people avenues for. You can't just wake up and be like, hey, he gonna be an actor.
Go get
Like,
your
I mean,
CDLs.
Hey,
Look, I
and I
don't
think
like.
that's something that we should like probably stop pushing so much too. Is because brother, and within the last couple of months, bro, I done seen so many 18-wheelers tipped over. Like, it's just crazy. Like, because,
nah,
or at least if you're gonna go do
I
it, make
seen
sure you
it
go to
too.
a reputable like place, because like a lot of these schools is just, hey, come give me 10 grand. All right, cool. You just got to do this to pass the test. All right, and send you out on the road or whatever. Like,
No,
and
that's
you
facts.
thinking you
I
got
will.
all that you need. No, it is so much more than that. If you go out there thinking that you leave that school and you got everything that you need to know, I guarantee you I'm gonna see you flipped over going down I-35.
Hey, they
Well, look,
said,
this is the thing. I feel that. I definitely feel that. I definitely think, like, I'm not saying everybody needs to go get their CDLs. I'm saying
Nah,
go
for
get
sure.
it. Like, if you talk about getting out the trenches, don't have your kids go become entertainers. There are trades out here that pay good money
Great
that
money.
that y'all can, like. If you got 10 kids and you think your 10 kids gonna get you out the trenches, have all 10 of them go get 10 different trades.
huh?
Y'all somebody, at least half
Hey,
of them gonna hit.
statistically
You know
speaking,
what I'm
you
saying?
got to.
like
And
they not gonna, because, like, realistically speaking, like, look at your gene pool. Like, a lot of times people don't be looking at them and their wife and their uncles and aunties and stuff. Like, your family is average height is 5'2". Like, why did you think you was about to have the next LeBron James? You know what I'm saying?
No, hey.
When little 5'5" Timmy can go become a doctor. They don't care if he 5'5" or 6'2".
Hey,
You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
facts.
He can go be a neurosurgeon right now if he go
Yeah.
get if he put the time in. You know what I'm saying? But he little 5'5" Timmy can go put the work in that gym and never touch an NBA court, an international court. It just might not be in the cards for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where I'm like, hey, bro, y'all, we got to do better with these kids. Stop trying to make them take care of the family first of all, but second of
Realistic
all, stop
expectations.
making them think that sports and entertainment is the only way to get somewhere in life. I promise
No,
you, it's
facts.
not. It's honestly the first. It's the fastest way to make sure your kids gonna be depressed and feel like they failures in life because they 90% of them are not making it to the league.
No,
I say
facts.
more than that.
Realistic
Yeah,
expectations. Hey, it's
yeah,
okay to
man.
have those. It's okay to have
Yeah,
those.
man. Go get your HVAC certification. Go get your CDLs. Go get your, you know what I'm saying? Go become an architect. Go become a structural engineer. You know what I'm saying? Electrical engineer. These are jobs that pay very well. Plumbers make good money. Like, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
facts.
Like, go become a doctor, a lawyer, the stereotypical stuff that actually do pay good money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a
all of
lot of
these
schooling.
things, yeah, it's a lot of schooling. I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
about to
but
say, but it's like you said, it's still realistic
it's
expectations.
still way more realistic that like
Then
you
go.
can go to those you can go to school for 12 years or 11 years or 8 years and become a doctor, PA, nurse practitioner, whatever one you want to do. Like as long as you put the work in, you will get that. You can put all the work in to become a
And get it.
basketball player, a tennis
Oh, and
player, a
And
soccer
still,
player, a NFL player, and your ass still will not get it. And that's my point about that. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, but it is a lot of 18 wheelers being tipped over because people like hopping in on joints and not ready. So I agree with you on that though.
yeah. I seen my homeboy post. Everybody want to be a CDL driver, so it's time to bag it in between two trucks.
Yeah,
you realize that? Do you realize, hey, this
yeah,
ain't for me,
man.
man. This ain't for
Hey, that shit ain't
hey,
easy.
no, that's why I know I couldn't do it. I tried to back up a trailer once. I said, I hot that told my brother, hey, you go, drive.
Mhm, you got
I
it.
tried it. I tried it.
I'm
And
just
I
not
give
good
him credit.
driving for long periods of time. Like my longest I can drive is about 8, 9 hours, and then I gotta sleep. I need to be able to
Nah, I ain't
sleep.
gonna lie. I could
Nah,
drive.
I hit that road.
Yeah, I can
I
hit
ain't
the
no
That
road.
road
must be that
warrior.
must be a Mississippi thing or something. Cause
I
I
used to
hit
be.
that
I
road.
mean, I used to be able to hop on the road for about 10 to 12.
Nah, I
But
can do about 16.
oh
I can do
no,
about 16.
Say the
oh
most I've
no,
done in a day is 23. Most I've done in a day is
oh
23.
See,
no.
I
Not a
think the
day.
most
It
I
ain't
done
a.
probably
It
like
ain't not
600.
on the chilliest day of hell. It it is not happening. 23 hours. If it came down and the devil was like, "Hey, you can get up out of here and you can get to heaven, but you got to drive for 23 hours." I'd have looked at like, hey, "You might as well go ahead and get me a bed ready down here, a hot ass bed, because there ain't no way I'm making it. It's over. No sir, it's over. Oh hell no. The longest I done drove myself with no help, yeah, it's about 12 hours. Like yeah, and that's it. And I was struggling. Like I was like, no sir. This is about to get real ugly. My cousin, he crazy with it. That's what for my next. If I get ordered soon, I'm gonna make my wife and son fly out, and I'm gonna call my cousin and be like, "Look, I'm gonna give you this amount of money. Me and you gonna take this road trip, but I can only drive about 7 hours, and then after that, you gotta take over." Yeah, yeah, it's over. I ain't going. But yeah, but no, it's been a good episode, man.
Nah, hell
For
yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But
Appreciate y'all
unless y'all got
tuning in.
something to promote, man, like I said, follow the movement, tap in with
Facts.
us, shoot us an email if y'all got any topics y'all wanna touch on, or if it's a previous topic you want to kind of rebuttal. So yeah, but it's been good. Yep.
Facts. That. Mm.
Y'all getting